Matthew Stafford talks about the Myles Garrett trade on the Chris Long podcast. Let's listen in and react together.
Player.
Speaking of unbelievable D linemen, man, you got Myles Garrett coming to town. I know it's not like a clean analogy, but I do think there's something to, spending a long time giving everything you have to a team that's not getting over the hump and eventually getting that trade and coming to greener
Oh, where have we heard that before?
pastures, if you will.
Yeah.
Have you guys talked about that like, holy shit, you woke up in LA, this is what football is supposed to be like, and also how exciting is it to have him?
Yeah, we haven't had that conversation yet,
Yeah.
but there's no question about it. You're right, man. There are some parallels, right? Where I know for me, and I'm assuming for Miles, and I know we'll have those conversations as we get back to training camp and do those things. But it was just invigorating, right? Like
Yeah.
for so many years, I felt like I was, I was this guy in Detroit. I was the leader of the organization, leader of it all, and still feel that way in LA. But you get traded, and you're suddenly the new guy who's got to learn everything, and it's like this new juice where you're like, all right, now I just got to make sure I'm up to par with everybody else. And obviously the physical traits, his stats, his ability is second to none. He's an incredible football player, so you're not worried about those things. You're just, hey man, there's some new energy to it where it's like football isn't the exact same as it's been the last 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 years. And I know that can be energizing for a player and a guy that is smart enough to understand what the stakes are and the opportunity that he's just been given. So, excited to have him. Obviously, guts me to lose a guy like Verse because I love playing with him. A guy that came in as a young player that was beyond his years and his ability and his maturity. Just wish him all the best. It sucks to lose guys anytime you're spent time playing with him. But excited to have Myles, really good football player.
Yeah.
And excited for what's to come. We just gotta continue to work and get after each other a little bit in practice and see if we can make each other better.
And I bet Cleveland eventually, it turns out like Detroit, where they get on their feet and Verse is a part of that thing. So,
No doubt.
it's just been two really good play. Davante, I'm going through the list of toys that Les has gotten you, and you guys. It felt like you guys had played together for a long time. Just watching you.
Just gonna pause there for a second. I'm gonna keep reacting to it. Again, I encourage you to listen to this full podcast. I'll post a link in the description below. But I just want to say I appreciate Matthew Stafford's maturity in how he handled that question of acknowledging sucks to lose Jared Verse. But excited for Myles Garrett and even a little bit of a challenge to recognize, and I'm sure Myles Garrett knows this, of it's not every day that a team that's going to be contending for a Super Bowl ideally trades for you, right? And they say hey, we just gave up a lot of capital and a really good player for you to help us beat the NFC to win that Super Bowl, right? Beat Seattle, beat the 49ers, right? Uh, there's a lot of the games that the Rams dropped last year where they beat themselves, right? Special teams or something like that. And this trade has the potential to really be a franchise changing trade. And I'm so excited for week 1 to see Myles Garrett in a Rams uniform. I'm excited for training camp. I'm excited to see more interviews with Rams players. But I really do appreciate what Matthew Stafford said there, and so I haven't watched the rest of this, and I'm curious to see what Chris Long says to Stafford here.
And one of the things I'm always curious about is how long does it take to get that back shoulder going between two great players, even?
Yeah. Well, and I think you and I were in a league where Aaron was as good as anybody in the world at doing that, and I think still is. I mean, he's unbelievable with his ability to
talking about Aaron
throw the
Rodgers
ball on the outside part of the field and goes and fades and back shoulders and all those kind of things. So Davante is used to it being a certain way with him, and not only was it me and Davante kind of getting on the same page, but how does he fit in our offense that isn't always just line up outside the numbers, spread you out, throw slants and goes and hitches and a lot of those things that he was doing in Green Bay. So, finding that happy medium of how we accentuate his skill set, but also fit in with what we're doing to where we're not changing everything. And so I think we had a solid year. I think he had a ton of touchdowns and a great season. I think there's opportunities where I can give him better chances to be an even more productive part of our offense, and that's exciting for me, right? It wasn't like first year. I mean, we definitely did some really good things. We scored a lot of points for our team, which was huge. But I do think there's a whole nother level to it that I'm excited to continue to work with him on. And one thing about him, man, he's never satisfied, as neither am I. And so we're always
love
just
that.
trying to talk to each other after every single play. Hey, man, here's what I was thinking, feeling. Here's how it came out. Hey, I'll get you a better ball in the next one, or whatever it is. And having that relationship with those guys is pretty cool.
Why is he so good in the red zone for
Yeah,
somebody who
this
might
is the
just
question.
observe it?
How many 1-yard touchdowns? And hey, it still counts as 6 points.
But not understand it.
Yeah, I think obviously has great understanding and patience and feel. People that have met him, he's not like a small player, right? Guys that can move like him are a lot of times undersized players. So they create that separation, and then in the red zone you run out of room, and size becomes, an issue for those guys. And so, hey, Tay's ability to shake somebody loose in a phone booth and then still be able to play up top over the top of them is as good as it gets. And I'll tell you what, there's certain guys that I've played with, and nobody as good as him, but like the best comes out of them the closer they get to the end zone, because like they want to score and shit. I love it. Right? I mean, like that's what you want. You want those guys on your team. I think about Kyron Williams, same way, like nose for the goal line. This guy, you hand it off to him, like he's.
Shout out, someone finally gives Kyron Williams some love on the internet. Way to go, Stafford. Talking about your running back.
Just finding ways to knife in and get in. And you play with those guys, and sure enough, you look up at the end of the year and they got 10, 12, 15 touchdowns. And, it's a huge part of why you're successful.
Another new teammate. What do you want Ty
Oh,
Simpson
this
to
is
say
gonna be
about
interesting.
you when he retires in hopefully 15, 20 years? What do you want Ty Simpson to tell his buddies what Matt Stafford was like and what he meant to him?
I mean, hopefully, he comes away with a guy that treated him the right way, showed him what it was about, what it's like to be a true professional, and also be yourself, right? I'm not some robot out there. Love playing the game. You see me mic'd up. I run around, yell like crazy, do all sorts of wild shit, and have fun with the game because it is a kid's game. But at the same time, hey, I'm here for him if he needs, help. My number one job, I've said this, 100 times, is like my number one job is to get our team and myself as ready to play as possible. And if he, gathers information and learns from that along the way, I'm fired up for our team because that's going to make us better, and I'm fired up for him. But I'm here to encourage, like everybody on our team, encourage everybody to do their best, keep getting better, and find ways to improve. And hopefully, he's a guy that 15, 20 years down the road can look back and say, man, I really enjoyed my time with Matthew and learned a lot from him.
Yeah,
I'm sure he will. Talking about QB room, I got a quick hitter or two for you before you get out of here. 2000.
I'm so curious. The speculation that Stafford was maybe unhappy about Ty Simpson being drafted. I really think that was nothing against Ty Simpson. It was more like, could have drafted a certain player at a certain position, right? But Stafford's such a mature pro, such a professional. Love that he has that very healthy perspective of, his number one job is to get the team ready to play and play at a high level, right? And it's Ty Simpson's job to learn from Stafford. Watch him prepare. Watch him, how he gets the team ready. Watch his leadership. Watch him run an NFL offense. Be an NFL quarterback. I hope that Ty Simpson, and I fully believe Ty Simpson is, knows this. He got drafted to the best situation possible for a first round quarterback that you possibly could, right? You get to learn behind a legend in Matthew Stafford, an MVP, defending MVP in Matthew Stafford. You get a phenomenal head coach in Sean McVay. You go to a good team. Like, if Ty Simpson goes to like the Cardinals or the Browns or the Jets, right? Those are franchises that historically have not done very well at developing quarterbacks, right? And say what you want about the Rams, Jared Goff under McVay developed. They moved off him. And say what you want about Stafford, but Stafford's developed as well, right? He went from a phenomenal quarterback to an even better quarterback, right? You look at Stafford's career with the Rams, and the back half of his career, it is the question, did he play better as a Ram or a Lion? No. The question is, how much better was his time with the Rams than with the Lions? So anyway, I want to hear the end of this here.
12 quarterback room in Detroit. You've got the famous Dan Orlovsky of ESPN fame,
Yes.
and then you've got Kellen Moore.
I love that he's asking about Dan Orlovsky and Kellen Moore. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
He's a head coach in the NFL. What's more surprising, head coach Kellen Moore or like most popular guy on TV, Dan Orlovsky?
You know, just based on his personality, the more surprising thing is Orlovsky made it on TV. You know, he's a tough guy to be around. No, I'm just kidding.
He's a beauty. I love Dan.
Dan and I are still like buddies. I still text him all the time. And Kellen, the reason why that's not surprising is like you saw that early. You know, like you would see him and man, this guy, he had a knack for the game, understanding for play calling and doing all those kind of things, even as a player. So, you know, it's cool to see both those guys do their thing and be so successful at what they do. And looks like they're both having a ton of fun doing it.
I'm going to encourage you, go check out the full interview. I do watch and react content like this for fun, my own therapy. Love talking about, you know, this stuff with other Rams fans, NFL fans on the internet. I'll say this. Been a Rams fan since 1999. I was a little kid and saw The Greatest Show on Turf with Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk, Torrey Holt, Ricky Prohl, Isaac Bruce, right? DeMarco Farr, Mike Jones, right? Like that crew. Saw them win and lose a Super Bowl. And now I'm here as a grown man. I've seen the Rams lose a Super Bowl and win a Super Bowl and have some real great regular season success the past number of years. You know, minus 2022 season. We don't talk about that. Actually, we do talk about it. What that Raiders Thursday night game and that Christmas game. Always want to talk about that. But I'm really curious. You know, earlier in this interview, Stafford talked about possibly, you know, playing 5 more years, right? Like he's taking it year to year. Drew Brees encouraged him, saying like, "Hey, the best 5 years of your career might be ahead of you," right? What is the ceiling with this Matthew Stafford experiment, right? What is like is the ceiling just you're gonna win a bunch of games and lose in the playoffs every year, right? Is it you're competing for a Super Bowl? Is it you're, you know, every week you're going to get the best of your opponent because they're scared of you? Because sign me up for that, right? Because I don't want to go back to the like, oh, like maybe we can make the playoffs. Man, like if we had consistent quarterback play, oh, watch out. Man, this D line is so good. I wish the offense could get past the 50. I don't miss that at all. I don't miss that at all. And I know any of you Ram fans know what I'm talking about. We really are blessed to live in this golden era with Stafford and McVay and a front office that knows how to draft well, a coaching staff that knows how to develop well. Really, like one of the most premier NFL franchises there is currently in the NFL. Right? They have a cool stadium in SoFi. It's a good day to be a Rams fan. Anyway, thanks so much for watching, hanging out with me. Feel free to like and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll be live during some of the preseason games coming up. So I'd love to see you there as we nerd out about the Rams all day long. So as always, go Rams, horns up, and peace out. Let's go Rams! Woo!